That day, I have worked with that. I worked from two distances. One from a distance of far away from the painting surface, where you could acknowledge the alleged cohesiveness of the painting and how it supposedly comes together to form a composition. And another is close-up view, where you can see the brush marks, the brush strokes, the manipulation of the surface. Before anything else, before a painting becomes an image, a subject, an abstraction, it is first of all a physical presence. It has a surface. And I early on was attracted to oil paint, and I've never varied from that. It is the most luxurious painting medium I think that there is. It allows working paint into paint. It allows manipulating the surface, scratching into the surface, building up a surface, allowing the paint strokes to be observed. And all of those factors, I think, are even present in my work to this day. I formed an early attachment to oil paint. After I'd done my first 6 paintings, I said, well, now this is it. I think I've accomplished all there is to do. There can't be that much more because I've done 6 paintings, right? The problem was I'd done 6 paintings. That's as much as I knew about it. And the more I've done, 600 and plus at this point, more than 600, probably more like 800, I've realized how infinitesimal my progress has been. Because with each succeeding canvas, I've learned that much more about the act and art of painting. How much more there is that can be done with that surface and with that medium. It's inexhaustible. It's frustrating too. Because as a student once asked me in a painting class back in Arkansas, said, when will I know when I'm perfect? It took me a while to collect myself and come up with a proper response. I said, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're never going to be perfect. But that should be encouraging as well as discouraging. It's encouraging because you should then realize that there's that much more you can learn. That's much more you can know about the medium and about yourself and about your experiences between you, your surroundings, your environment, and the painting surface that you're working with. So the longer you have, the longer time you spend with something like an oil medium, the more you get to know about it. So I feel that I've become, after almost 60 years of painting, I really got to know the painting medium pretty well.
Yes, you have. Now, you earlier in your career and through really most of your life, you've been an instructor, a teacher as well as an artist. Now, starting in the 1970s and looking at the student artists that you had then up until, and you still are active at Richards Hall, and see the student artwork on the wall and so forth. What are your opinions? Are there still similarities within the two, or what insights might you have on sort of the collective art of the youth now and then?
Well, of course, art instruction and artists and students have evolved considerably over the last many years. I neglected to bring up the influences that have affected me over the years. I still am influenced by 2 particular artists of the past. Caravaggio, the great early Baroque painter in Italy, who evolved the aspect of chiaroscuro, which means light and dark in Italian, to really model a figure, to give the figure substance and a sense of the source of light coming into a painting. And then Rembrandt, another great artist from the Baroque period. I also enjoy Velázquez and Rubens. These are all artists from the Baroque period. They were all great painters, and I've learned from them. In our time, I think I've been most influenced and affected by, because that's when I was a student, when I was learning something about the act and art of painting, the artists of the abstract expressionist movement. I didn't fully appreciate them at the time I was a student, but I've since come to understand more fully what they were about. So artists such as Franz Klein, Willem de Kooning, Jackson Pollock to an extent. Mark Rothko for his color field paintings. And then in the figurative area, I attached myself to a very important social realist artist of the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s. He had a long career, Jack Levine. And I came to know Jack when he attended an art conference that we put on here at the University of Nebraska in 1976. And formed a friendship with him that lasted for several decades more. I visited his studio, and we shared a lot of ideas about the act of painting. I find at that time I was more into satire and more into social activism than I am now. But I found his work immediately attractive. Gangster Funeral, I thought was an immaculate piece of work. And he did a painting of a horse, a pale horse, that I saw at the University of Iowa. And it was a remarkable painting. And others. And those are things that I try to convey to students. I don't do that much critiquing anymore. But I do find, without patting them on the back that much, that we have an excellent art faculty in the School of Art. In every area, in graphic design, in painting, in sculpture, in ceramics, in printmaking, in photography. We provide an excelling education to students who come into our program. We now have almost 400 art majors in the School of Art.
Now, you're a fascinating person because you seem rather mild mannered. I've known you to be nothing but the quintessential gentleman. Yet within your canvases, it seems like there's this explosion that goes inside of you. I mean, be it and often it's sexually charged, or you have your Rubenesque women. I always envision going into Dan's house and going into his bedroom and seeing like a piece of celery tied to a bed, and vegetable bondage and all this. I mean, and what I kind of really want to know is is there a devil inside there?
That's my alter ego. I'm generally pretty mild-mannered. I think my wife would testify to that most of the time. Even keeled, I try to be. The energy and emotion that I do have, that I think is there in me, I try to get into my canvases. I try to put as much of myself into my paintings as I can. I want them to be energized. I want them to have mobility. I want something to have movement. I dislike paintings that just sit there. They don't do anything. They're just there. I like to develop a painting, whether monochromatic or full color, that allows the viewer to move across the surface, to spend some time with it. I hope that I don't reveal everything that there is in a painting in one fell swoop in 5 or 10 seconds. I hope that it takes some time. One of the best compliments I ever received was from a collector in Omaha many years ago. And she said, you know, I didn't understand your paintings at all when I first saw them. And then I said, well, maybe there is something there since they're on display here, that somebody must think there's something there. So I came back and looked at them again. And you know, I saw something that I hadn't seen the first time. And I thought, well, let's continue this journey. I think I'll come back again. And she did, a third or fourth and a fifth time. And she said, you know, each time I saw something different. I saw something more in your paintings that I hadn't seen before. And I saw a more comprehensive sense of what I think you were about in the paintings. Years ago, I made the mistake of inferring or implying that there was only one way to look at one of my paintings. That was a mistake. I think I was less mature then. I'm more mature now. I can't get much more mature than I am. But I've since learned that the viewer is an important ingredient in the understanding of a work of art. Each of us comes before a work of art with our own set of experiences, backgrounds, prejudices, set of references that we have to work we're looking at, things we've seen and things we haven't seen. And I think all those factors come together to make a complete understanding of what the work might be about. I don't try to lead a viewer on the journey of how to come to an understanding of my work. I think it's most important for them to come to it with their own set of references, responses, and intelligence.